The Section 31 TV movie premiered this week. Section 31 was originally conceived as a spin-off TV series from Star Trek Discovery, aka STD, and it was planned to feature Michelle Yeoh as her STD character, Emperor Philippa Georgiou. Clearly, that series never went forward, and a lot of people, myself included, thought it had kind of just, died on the vine. But then Michelle Yeoh won an Academy Award, and producer extraordinaire Alex Kurtzman decided to capitalize on that and resurrect Section 31 as a TV movie.
It's alive!
With the exception of the third season of Star Trek Picard, it's fair to say that Kurtzman Drek has been just a series of failures. Discovery, Lower Decks, Prodigy, Strange New Worlds. But Section 31 may actually be the pinnacle of failure at this point for Kurtzman Drek. I always thought it was going to be bad. I just didn't think it was going to be this bad. And honestly, in fact, there's nothing about this, in my opinion, other than the name and a few Easter eggs that says this is really a Star Trek show.
This is not Star Trek!
Of course, the history, Section 31. It was first introduced in Deep Space Nine. I think it was season 6, actually. And it's a covert organization within Starfleet, within the Federation. It became very prominently featured in STD's second season, with Philippa Georgiou becoming a member of STD. And the big bad of season 2, it was the Section 31 AI called Control that was trying to take over the galaxy or something. At the end of season 2, Georgiou, along with the rest of the crew of the Discovery, left the 23rd century, traveled in time to the 32nd century to, stop the AI. I forget the details, but that's how it ended. And then she was part of season 3 of STD. Eventually, she went back in time because she got sent back in time due to the Guardian of Forever. The time we didn't know where she went, I guess. Turns out, according to this movie, she ended up back in, I guess, the 24th century. Not the 23rd century where she was from, but the 24th century, working for Section 31 for a bit, and then ended up running a nightclub space station. Honestly, this is just a little bit of the beginning of the weirdness of this entire movie. At the start of the movie, we actually learn a little bit about Georgiou and how she became emperor. It basically draws a lot from Hunger Games. I guess in the Terran Empire in the Mirror Universe, they drew candidates to become emperor from various planets. They were all children, and they competed in a contest where basically they killed each other. Yeah, this is cribbed from Hunger Games, and it's a weird way to select the leader of an empire, in my opinion. Georgiou and another boy, San, were the last two competitors left. They had fallen in love, but ultimately, Georgiou was the only one who passed the final test. San did not, because Georgiou killed her family.
Thus does the Empire remain strong. Thus does it grow.
Yeah, so she kills her family, becomes emperor, and because San is the runner-up, he now has to serve as a slave for life to the emperor. I know the storytelling in this is fantastic already. But then we flash forward in time to the 24th century. At that point, Georgiou's on her space station, and she gets recruited by Section 31 to join basically what is, my opinion, an impossible mission team. Impossible Mission Force team, like an IMF team for Mission Impossible. The whole purpose is to retrieve a stolen doomsday device. And unsurprisingly, this team is made up of a bunch of ragtag characters, which I think is probably going to they're trying to give you a Guardians of the Galaxy Suicide Squad vibe. All this show does is literally, grab tropes from other movies and TV shows and stick them in. It's like, let's throw everything against the wall to see what fits, what sticks rather. And, just to remind you that this show is actually a Star Trek show, all these characters have little Easter eggs that relate to older Star Trek shows. So first we got Alok, who's apparently the team leader and also one of Khan Noonien Singh's fellow augments who left Earth on the Botany Bay. Don't know how that happened. We have a Delta named Mel, who does not abide by the celibacy oath that Lieutenant Ilea took in Star Trek The Motion Picture. But don't worry about her. She's not around long. She gets killed in the first action sequence in the show. Quasi, he's a cameloid, which is a species of shapeshifter. And the first time we saw that species was in Star Trek The Undiscovered Country. And of course, now we have the real clear Star Trek connection. Lieutenant Rachel Garrett is described as a by-the-book liaison to Section 31 from Starfleet to make certain that they don't commit murder. Of course, Rachel Garrett will become the captain of the Enterprise C, as we've seen in yesterday's Enterprise. We got this guy, Zeph, who first impression kind of looks like he got Borgified. Apparently he suffers from something called mecha-dysphoria. I don't know what the hell that is, but I guess he just likes to put mech on his body. And the last member of the team we see is a laughing Vulcan. Yeah. We know that Kurtzman Trek loves having Vulcans with emotion for some damn reason, but it's not an actual Vulcan. You see, it's a Vulcan robot that's driven, Jaeger style by a nano-sized sentient being called Fuzz. So this team forms to intercept the Doomsday weapon, which is coming onto the station by someone named Nado. I don't remember his name. It was like Jaja Nana Wood or whatever. He's a weird looking dude that has all mechanic stuff on his face. He's going to sell the weapon and they're going to try to intercept it. Just when you think they got it, however, someone shows up to steal it from, our hero team, stealing it from the seller. And this guy kind of looks like the Riddler from the Batman, just raided a leather motorcycle bike suit store. I don't know. He's all dressed in leather. It's this weird gimpy vibe. There's a fight between the leather Riddler face dude and Georgiou using some sort of weird phase technology where they pass through everything. And honestly, this should not even be in Star Trek at this time period, which I think is early 24th century. That's also murky. It especially gets weird where Georgiou gets her foot in phase mode stuck in a wall. Honestly, I don't know how her foot didn't just come off at that point. Regardless, the weapon is stolen by the leather dude, who turns out to be Georgiou's former lover, San, who she thought was dead. We also learned that this Doomsday weapon is called the Godsend. Yeah, there's some 5 minutes of wasted time debating, is it Godsend or God's End? Waste of time. And the weapon comes from the mirror universe, and it was ordered to be created by Emperor Georgiou herself. The purpose is apparently to incinerate a quadrant of the galaxy. That's tens of thousands of light years. And this weapon apparently somehow explodes and expands, instantaneously wiping out everything in the quadrant. So in addition to our Doomsday weapon, we also learned there's a passageway that's formed between the Star Trek universe and the mirror universe, through some ion storms, so you can go back and forth. The passageway opens up at regular schedule, so it's like, oh, 2 o'clock, time to open the passageway. 2 o'clock a.m., time to open the passageway. 2 o'clock p.m., time to open the passageway. This apparently is regular. No one knows about it except the mirror universe. And guess what else is going on? The Terran Empire has run out of resources, so the plan is to use, I guess, to use this passageway to come in to Star Trek universe, take over after blowing up the God's End, and now rule. But wouldn't the God's End blowing up destroy the Alpha Quadrant, or at least one of the quadrants? The plan makes no sense. You want to invade this place to get the resources, but they're going to set off the device that explodes the resources?
Well, that's a bad plan.
I'm literally have to write this down because none of this makes any freaking sense. Basically, the rest of the movie is trying to recover the Godsend device before it goes off. In between the chase, there's all sorts of chasing going on. We get exceedingly extended scenes of exposition so that we learn all about the interesting characteristics of these very one-dimensional characters. Oh, the team, our hero team, has a mole on it, and that mole is actually working with San from the mirror universe, because anti-hero team up movies always have a mole. There's always a bad guy hidden. Let's use that again. The mole, it's Fuzz, and then he kills Zev for some reason. I don't know why. We have a chase on hover sleds for some damn reason, which is very blurry. Then we have a chase with starships going towards the passageway. Giorgio and Alok beam over to San's ship to engage in a good old fist fight against San and Fuzz, who's also there. In the end, Giorgio kills San. Also, Fuzz got thrown out into space. She kills San, and she then feels very sorry about it. So here's our Emperor of the Terran Empire feeling very sad that she killed the guy who had as a slave for years. None of this characterization makes sense at all. Whatever. Unfortunately, during the battle, the Godsend device got activated, so it's going to blow up. But Giorgio and Alok decide, hey, let's put it in the passageway. So they direct the ship to go in the passageway, and they're holding this, both standing there watching them enter the passageway, holding the Doomsday device. 10 seconds left, but they get beamed away. The weird thing is they get beamed away, but the device doesn't. I watched Star Trek long enough to know that's not how it fucking works. Yeah, you can specifically, pattern lock on something, but there's no way that the other ship, the people on the other ship knew to pattern lock only on the bioforms and not do, the device in their hand. It's like if you're holding a phaser, the phaser goes with you. So they get beamed out, and then the device explodes in the passage. This is again where you get so confused. It doesn't blow up anything else. It just blows up the passageway. None of this makes sense. There is no other damage. The passageway collapses. My opinion, honestly, if it went through the passageway, you just killed the Terran Empire. Another act of genocide, but Giorgio's done so many. So yeah, our hero, yay, Terran Emperor Philippa Giorgio wins the day. And the only thing that I see at the end of this, honestly, is it's clear this movie is the pilot episode of the series they wanted to make. It sets up everything in such contrived fashion, and it very much feels like a pilot episode. Like, we're just planting seeds, we're going to expound upon them later. Thank God they didn't. It's terrible. Anyway, our team of heroes are back at Giorgio Space Bar celebrating, and this is where I again say this is where you get the idea that, oh, this was meant to be like the series premiere, the pilot episode, because they get a new mission from the Section 31 control agent, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who looks like she's got a bunch of Borg implants on her. I don't know what the obsession is with New Trek and just putting mecha type, metal stuff all over people, tech stuff. I don't know. I don't know. All I know, that was an hour and a half of my life that I'll never get back.
That was your own fault.
Kurtzman Trek has been screwing up Section 31 since they first reintroduced it. We're talking about an organization that no one is supposed to know about. That's the way it was presented in DS9. No one knows about this. But what do we get in STD? Everyone knows what Section 31 is. They have their own starships. They have their own bases. They have their own comm badges. It doesn't matter. You know what? Who cares about canon? Because this looks cool. And that's all Kurtzman Trek apparently cares about. Does it look cool? Who cares what actual Star Trek is? You know, the thing is, when Section 39 was first introduced in Deep Space Nine, the whole idea was to really raise questions about morality. We're talking about an organization that is sworn to uphold the principles of the Federation. At the same time, they will break some of those principles to uphold the principles. It's just, you know, a moral conundrum that's questioned. That Bashir, when he meets Sloan, talks all about this. It's just, you know, that's the point of Section 31. It's not some, you know, band of misfits put together, Suicide Squad type thing. It's supposed to present questions, make you think about things. Why? Because that's what Star Trek does best. That's not what Kurtzman Trek's done best. And it's not what any Star Trek has done since 2009 at all.
This isn't Star Trek!
Of course, the other problem with this whole thing, this whole movie, is our hero is basically Space Hitler. Yeah, Emperor Philippa Georgiou is responsible for the deaths of billions, if not trillions of people in the mirror universe. We see her in the beginning of this movie eating eyeballs. She's also known for eating kelpians. Kelpians, yeah, that's, you know, Saru from STD. She's his family, I think, because, yeah, that's what heroes do. Wow. I mean, Star Trek is supposed to be about heroes, you know, Starfleet officers trying to do the right thing while exploring the galaxy. But Georgiou's not a hero. She's a monster. And there's no redemptive arc at all in this. Not that there could be any redemptive arc in this at all. I mean, she's killed so many people. You cannot create a redemption arc for this character. This is like, oh, hi, what? Darkseid? Yeah, Darkseid's a good guy. Sure. Emperor Palpatine? Oh, I'm certain he's going to redeem himself somehow. Sure. Oh, my God. Look, the worst part is, you know, Michelle Yeoh is a great actress. Everything I've seen her in, all the movies I've seen her in, I've really enjoyed. She brings gravitas to her roles. Even in comedy roles, it's like you believe her, and she's got a charisma that comes off well on the screen. Here, I don't know what the hell she's doing. There's nothing that shows that she is an actress of that caliber. The only thing I figure is she's trying to pull a Halle Berry. Remember, Halle Berry won an Oscar for Monster. I think it was Monster or Monster Ball. And then a year or two later, won a Raspberry Award for Catwoman. So I don't know if this movie is in the running for a Raspberry Award, but it damn well should be. Wow, this is so bad. At best, I could say that her portrayal of Georgiou is campy. At worst, it's just over the top crap. I don't even know what she's trying to get across with this character at all.
No, let's cut the shit.
But this is just a joke, a total joke. This character could not be taken seriously, and neither can any of the cast. None of the cast in the show shows up well at all. They're all one-dimensional, and I think the other thing that does not help is literally the crap dialogue. One of my pet peeves in modern Star Trek, not pet peeves, like biggest freaking gripes, is the injection of modern language into Star Trek. They say so many things in here. Apparently, a bunch of Gen Zers think that whatever we say now is when we said 300 years in the future. You think I'm kidding? Here, let me just show you a couple things.
Trying to muster sexy time with a Dalton.
Just reel it in.
What the hell is going on here?
No one is more locked her down than me right now!
Okay, so you're into mecha-boom-boom. Lots of humans, huh?
What the hell is going on here?
You're actually a chaos goblin, aren't you?
Chaos is my friends with benefits.
What the hell is going on?
You're a bad bitch.
Bad bitch. You're a bad bitch. Really? Really? Could you imagine anyone saying to Naoto Ohura, you're a bad bitch? Catherine Janeway, you're a bad bitch.
What the shit biscuit?
It's just crap. It's just crap. Like I needed something more to be pissed off about the continued, molestation, mutilation of a franchise.
Let her go, Jim. He's dead.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't think I really don't want to talk about her anymore. That's an hour and a half of my life I'm not going to get back.
Humans make illogical decisions.
They do indeed.
Anyway, questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click all those good buttons, and I'll see you guys next time.